All right, so the last video we did was on the SP interval. This one is on the epicenter distance. On the website, it calls it the epicentral distance. It's the same thing. So I'm under the directions. This is step 5. It says scroll to the bottom of the page. Use your SP data that you input, and that should be in the table now. So when we get onto that web page, the data we just put on the last page will show up in a table now. So you're going to use the graph to the left of the table to find the epicentral distance. Locate your SP distance on the y-axis. It's the one going up and down. Go straight to the right. Whenever it intersects the diagonal line, stop and go straight down. That number that it lines up with on the x-axis, or the one going across the bottom, is your epicentral distance. Hint, each blue line represents an interval of 20. So it'd be 400, 420, 440, and so on. Then record each epicentral distance on the table for that city. Click Find Epicenter when you have all three. So I'm going to scroll back to our data table on here. So we're looking at the epicenter distance. So to our table here, we have our data that we just input on this table. So 50, 72, 64. Now, what we're going to do is find the SP interval on the y-axis. One thing I forgot to include in the directions was that going up the y-axis, each one of these blue lines is worth 1. So it'd be 40, 41, 42, 43, and so on. So for the first one, Eureka, California, we need 50 seconds right here. We're going to go straight across until we hit the diagonal line and go straight down. Going across the bottom, I remember reading that this has an interval of 20. So we would have 400, 420, 440, 460, 480 would be our distance here. We're going to write 480, and I already filled that in our table here. So we're going to go back, and the next thing we need to find is 72 seconds. That's up on the y-axis. Remember, each one of these blue lines is worth 1. So I'm going to zoom in. 70, 71, 72. And scroll straight across. Okay, now it's intersecting this diagonal line, and we're going to go straight down, and that number is 700. Fill that in on our table as well. And only one more. This last one says 64 seconds. So I'm going to zoom in again so I can see these blue lines on the side. So I found 60, and I need 64. So it's 61, 62, 63, 64. And I go straight across. And, okay, so intersects the diagonal line. We're going to go straight down. All right, so this would be 600, 620. And we need to put that on our table here. Easy as that. Then you click Find Epicenter. So on this page, if you measured accurately, it's going to say excellent work. And if we take a look, all three of our circles that we found from using the SP interval and the distance data, these circles were generated for us, so we didn't actually have to do that. But from the data, they should intersect at one point, and they do. So the point that they intersect at, that is the epicenter. Okay? If you had some sort of error in the data, it's going to have two options here, either to recalculate or just show the correct answers. If you have time, definitely do the recalculating. If you're running short on time, just click Show Answers. And when you're ready to move on, click Compute, scroll down, go to the next page, scroll down again, go on to the next page. So next video, we'll be looking at the